Buckle up, everyone, because today's deep dive is taking us right into the heart of AI. And let me tell you, things are moving fast. We're talking about two stories that really highlight how unpredictable this field can be.
Oh, absolutely. And the first one, well, it's almost like something out of science fiction.
Right. OpenAI, those folks are like the rock stars of AI right now, and they've done it again.
They really have.
But this time, instead of just building a single AI that's like super smart, they've created this whole system for building teams of AIs. It's like having your own little AI squad all working together.
You know, it's funny you should say squad. This is about more than just like raw AI power. It's about coordination.
Okay, so like teamwork.
Exactly. Think of it like this. We've seen AI master specific tasks, right? Like playing chess or, even writing poetry.
Right.
But this is about taking those individual skills and, well, orchestrating them. Imagine having multiple AIs, each one with its own specialty, working together like a well-oiled machine to achieve something even bigger.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I need details. How does it actually work? And what is this swarm thing I keep hearing?
So Swarm is the name OpenAI gave to this new framework.
Yeah.
They're really all in on this idea of agents working together. Like they're even providing code examples to show how these agents can seamlessly pass tasks back and forth.
Past tasks. Okay, so you're saying instead of me trying to get one AI to do everything, I could have a specialist for each part of the job. Hold on, that kind of sounds like how we use apps on our phones now.
That's a great comparison. Think about it. You're online. You're about to buy those new headphones you've been wanting. One AI agent could take your order. Another one handles the payment securely. And then let's say you need to return them for whatever reason, another agent pops up to handle the refund. All specialized, all automated.
And this is all happening behind the scenes, right? So from my perspective, it just feels like one seamless interaction.
Exactly. The source article even uses the example of, like, airline customer service. Imagine one AI agent checking your flight status, and if there's a delay, boom, another agent jumps in to help you rebook, all while you're just, trying to survive the airport.
Okay, yeah, that's impressive. I mean, this does feel like a glimpse into the future of AI, doesn't it? We're managing our own little AI teams. But is it really as smart as it sounds? Because, I mean, we all know how AI can be sometimes.
Well, that's the thing about AI, isn't it? It's always full of surprises. And speaking of surprises, this is where our second story comes in. While OpenAI is out there building their AI dream teams, Apple's research team is, they're kind of pumping the brakes a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the Apple research. This was a fascinating one. They're basically questioning whether AI can actually truly understand what it's doing.
Exactly. You see, there's a difference between being able to process information
Mm-hmm.
and actually comprehending it,
Yeah, for sure. And Apple was trying to figure out if AI can actually reason like we do, or if it's just really good at, I don't know, recognizing patterns.
That's a great way to put it. They were basically trying to see if AI is just mimicking intelligence or if it's actually intelligent.
Right. So how do they do that? How do you even test something like that?
Well, they got creative. They actually developed this whole new test called GSM-Symbolic, and it was specifically designed to evaluate how well these AI models can reason mathematically.
Mathematically. Okay, so word problems and equations and all that.
Exactly. And the thing is, the researchers, they didn't just throw like super complicated math at the AI.
Right.
They actually introduced these tiny, almost insignificant changes to the problems.
Okay, like what kind of changes? Give me an example.
Well, like imagine a word problem, right?
Mm.
They might just swap out the names of the people involved.
Mm.
Or they might add an extra detail that has absolutely zero to do with the math itself. Like, say, mentioning that someone is holding a red ball when the color of the ball doesn't actually matter to the solution.
Mhm. Right. It's like those trick questions they used to give us in school.
Exactly. A human would look at those changes and be like, okay, whatever, and just solve the problem. But for the AIs, these small changes cause their performance to totally drop.
No way, seriously. How much are we talking here?
In some cases, their accuracy dropped by as much as 65%.
This 65%, wow, that's huge. So basically, these tiny, seemingly meaningless changes were enough to completely throw the AI off track.
Exactly. And that's the point Apple is trying to make. If the AI truly understood the underlying concepts, those changes shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, when you realize someone's just memorized a bunch of facts, but they don't actually get it. Like, they can't apply the information to a new situation or anything.
It's like they're stuck, right? And that's what's so fascinating about this research.
It's like the AI is stuck too.
Exactly. They might be able to solve the problems they've seen before, the ones that are similar to their training data.
But anything outside of that, and
It's like they hit a wall.
so give us the juicy details. What were some of the specific examples from the study?
Okay, so there's this one example, right, with a word problem about someone picking fruit. The AI, it nailed it, solved it perfectly, no problem.
Okay, so far so good.
But then the researchers, they added this one little detail. They mentioned that some of the fruit was smaller.
Smaller, so like the size of the fruit. That shouldn't change the math, right?
Exactly. It was completely irrelevant to the actual problem. But here's the thing. When they added that word smaller, the AI, it got confused and it started subtracting.
It started subtracting. Come on, that's hilarious. It's like the AI saw the word smaller and just went into autopilot mode. Like, smaller must mean subtract. That's what we do, right?
Right, like it missed the whole point of the problem.
It's like it flunked out of word problem kindergarten. But seriously, this is a pretty big deal, right? I mean, if AI can be thrown off by something as simple as the word smaller, what else are we missing?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's something the study really highlighted. They found that the more complex the problem became.
The worse the AI did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And their answers, they weren't even close.
Yeah.
It was like they were just guessing at that point, just throwing numbers around and hoping something would stick.
So let me get this straight. We've got OpenAI out here creating these AI teams that sound like, I don't know, something out of a movie. And then we've got Apple basically saying, hold on a second, AI might not be ready for the big leagues just yet. I mean, where does that leave us?
Well, it's a balancing act, isn't it?
Mm.
On the one hand, you've got these incredible advancements in AI, like OpenAI Swarm. I mean, that technology has the potential to be a real game changer.
Totally.
But then you have this Apple research, which is a good reminder that we're still in the early days. We can't get ahead of ourselves.
It's like we're so busy celebrating how far AI has come that we forget to think about, the bigger picture.
Right. And the bigger picture is that AI still has a long way to go, especially when it comes to things like, well, actual understanding.
And if AI can't really understand the world the way we do, I mean, can we ever really trust it, especially when it comes to making important decisions?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's one that Apple is really forcing us to confront. It's not enough to just build AI that can, mimic human intelligence.
It's got to be able to think for itself.
Exactly. We need to understand the why behind the how. Like, if something as simple as the word smaller can throw an AI off, what other blind spots might we be missing?
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. I mean, we started this deep dive talking about AI, and now we're basically questioning the very nature of intelligence itself.
Well, that's the thing about knowledge, isn't it? The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Mm.
But that's what makes it all so exciting.
For sure. So where do we go from here? What's the next step in this whole AI journey?
Well, I think the most important thing is that we keep asking these questions.
Yeah.
As we develop more and more complex AI systems, we need to be having these conversations about the ethics, about the implications.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it.
Exactly. The future of AI, it's not something that's just going to happen to us. It's something we create. And it's up to all of us to make sure we're creating it responsibly.
That's a great point to end on. Really makes you think, doesn't it? Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explored the fascinating and sometimes baffling world of AI.